Again, this is episode 5 of When Discussion Strikes. I'm your host, Titus Peoples, and we are here with a very talented brother, Glenn A McBride Jr.
What's up, bro? Good seeing you, man.
Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. So, Glenn, man, how you been, bro? G McBride, who is G McBride, and how long have you been doing filmmaking?
Well, like G McBride or Glenn McBride, I'm a writer, director, actor. I've been doing film. I believe the moment you say you're a filmmaker, that's you a filmmaker. So
very true.
I've been after film since I was about 7 years old. So I've been, since I saw Hollywood Shuffle, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Harlem Nights. I was
the
like,
classics.
The classic. I said, you know what? I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So from then on, I've been writing scripts and doing short films, and just started at 7 years old. That's when the dream started. So that's how long I've been a filmmaker, 7 years old. So
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned a few names, but I would like you to go in depth a little more. Who inspires you, or like who inspired you? A
lot of people, but the first person that inspired me was besides my parents, pushed me to chase my dreams. Definitely Robert Townsend. When I saw Hollywood Shuffle, him playing Bobby Taylor, an actor, a struggling black actor that wants to make it into the movies. His character was always daydreaming about being in movies and stuff like that, and that's how it was as a kid, daydreaming about being in movies or just daydreaming about movies that I saw. Robert Townsend, definitely Keenan Ivory Wayans, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, definitely the GOAT of comedy, Eddie Murphy, what I'm saying?
Murphy.
Beverly Hills Cop, Saturday Night Live. With Beverly Hills Cop, Golden Child, Harlem Nights, Eddie was this super cool.
Dude was a powerhouse, unstoppable.
Right, you watch him at Saturday Night Live, like when he first got on, he's like 19, but he's like super confident. And I was like, I've never seen anybody like that at that young age, just killing it at that, that young. And
19.
Him, Chris Rock, Spike. What I'm saying? Arsenio Hall with the Arsenio Hall show, just seeing the first black late night talk show host, I'm saying, and bringing in comedy and with hip hop and everything. So, guys like that, kind of open up, my eyes, I can do it. So,
right, that's what's up, bro. Like, that's very, very inspiring to know that we have people that look like us.
Yeah. We have
can
to
set the mold for us and then create that mold for us.
Right.
Set the mold and create the mold.
Right, what I'm saying? It's one thing to dream it, but when you can see somebody that looks like you can see yourself in the screen, it kind of really pushes you to kind of go after your dreams. So those guys, doing it. Even Uptown Saturday Night with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, that's a classic. I remember my mother bringing that to me. She's like, hey, if you're going to write comedy, if you're going to do movies, you need to check these movies out. So even my mother and my father, they pushed me watching the classics like Roots and, Sounder and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and, those classics as well. They're like, hey, if you're going to be a director, you got to know your film history as a black person. And that's an issue with a lot of young black kids now that want to get into film. They don't know the history of black filmmaking. They don't know, the price that was paid for them to get here. You know what I'm saying? So if you know the price that was made for you to get here, you will value your time and energy even better with your art.
Especially in this industry, because they constantly say that the white man can go on forever in this industry, but it seems like people of color, they're like in a time slot and like in a time frame, like they're only hot for this long, and then they'll only be
they do that.
This long.
They do that, especially with comedy. Like it's like one black guy at a time. What I'm saying? Especially back in the day, it was just one black movie at a time. Now you see multiple black shows and black movies, but back then they would just do one. Now we're showing them that we can tell different stories. They're not just gangster films or slavery films. They're just everyday life stories that relate to everybody. Just because you're not black doesn't mean you can't watch this film, because our story is is very universal. So
extremely universal.
Extremely
universal. And you just touched on something that's very important to me. So let me backtrack a bit. Like, we both went to the Art Institute.
Right.
But I think I was done with my tenure there shortly after you came.
Yeah. I think when you was leaving, I was just starting coming in. Yeah.
Cool. So we started doing projects and stuff, and then the first thing kids wanted to do whenever they got the camera, let's do something like Friday and Paid in Full.
Right.
And then I used to suck my teeth and get so angry because I'm like, yo, bro, I'm tired of doing those films.
Right,
like,
right.
You're like, we are more than just
Yeah.
sitting on the stoop smoking weed or like being hustlers and drug
Right.
kingpins. Like, we're so much more than that.
I think, you know, especially when I started too, you know, you're trying to do what you watch and what you see. So if you like Friday, you know, I want to do something like Friday. If I want to do, you know, if you like Paid in Full, you know, we were just trying to find our voice as young filmmakers. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to see what can we make, and I think as you're trying to figure out what to create, you'll find your voice. You're like, oh, I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? So when I first started the Institute, I was going to do drama, like dramatic, like kind of like Spike Lee driven kind of films, and that just wasn't my flavor. And I was like, oh, I'm good with comedy, and I could tell my own story through that. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes trying to create and trying to duplicate what you see, you'll find out, oh, this is my voice, this is my vision. So, you know.
True. And then don't get me wrong either. Those two films I just named
are classics, yeah.
Are classics.
But everybody's trying to chase that. It's, you know, a lot of people like, yo, I want to do the next Friday, next this, you know.
State Property, like which are classics in their own
All right,
right.
Yeah.
Like, great movies in their own right amongst us. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Because like we are the people that understand
those
films.
Right.
I wouldn't expect somebody outside of
the
norm to understand what they're talking about in Paid in Full. Or like in State Property. So like those are films mostly for us to enjoy.
So it's for us to enjoy, but I think, you know, with anybody in film, they're always like, I want to make the next Star Wars, exactly. Or the next. So whatever was really big and inspired you, you want to do that. And then, you know, you'll find your own voice, and you'll be the one to create something and somebody goes, I want to create the next, you know, Titus project or the next Glenn McBride project. But you know what I'm saying? But
that'd be dope.
You know,
that's dope.
That time will come.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. So what is the creative process for Glenn? Like, how does Glenn take blank sheets of paper and turn them into dramatic screenplays?
You know, a lot of times what I do, I write like a bunch of ideas, and in my head, like, okay, this would be a funny idea for a movie. And I write it down, and I may not touch it for a year because I always have like a box of ideas, and then I'll say, you know what, that idea that I was thinking about, let me kind of work on that. Like I have a comedy now, a wrestling comedy that I'm working on, and I wrote the idea for it probably like 3 years ago. You know, and just little by little, you just come up with some ideas. Sometimes it may just start with a plot line. Sometimes I may have the whole scene in my head, and I'll just write the scene, and then out that scene, a full movie will come out. You know what I'm saying? So it differs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have like a process. It kind of happens, you know, like even like with Traffic Cops, I'll be inspired by something, and then I go, okay, you know what, let's start writing. And like even with the script with Traffic Cops, I didn't have a script. I just had like an outline. Like, okay, I know I want to do this. I know I want to do this. I know I want this in the movie, and then I'll start filling in the blanks. So, you know, so it's every project that I wrote, the process is different. You know what I'm saying? So
see, I try to pretty much keep the same process. See, I come up with the idea and the concept,
right?
But then within like the next 2 days, I have the first draft of the script.
So you're good. You got a draft. First 2 days of draft. That's good.
Like in 40, like I could write a screenplay in like 3 days. Like
that's good.
But that's just the first draft, and that has the typo.
Oh yeah, typo. Yeah, you just let everything out, and then you do. Yeah, I do that too. I do that too. I let everything out, and then I'll go. Okay, now let's start kind of fixing it. And, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you. I do that as well.
And then what I also like to do is, by the time I'm done that first draft and I'm off to the second draft and the third draft, I'll take the best parts of the first draft, the best parts of the second, and best parts of the third, and then I have one complete script.
Right, because your first draft is not the complete script. It's never the complete script. Not. You know, even when you have the complete script and then you're doing a table read, there's changes even then. Like, you know what? Okay, that doesn't sound right coming out the character's mouth. So the script is always changing. Even on set, you know what I'm saying? You start moving stuff around. You know, you've been there. We're like, hey, we got to take, for time's sake, we got to take this out and move this.
Oh man, time's sake, finance sake.
Right, right.
You know, like you can't find a car to set on fire. Trust me, like I've been there.
And then after the movie's done, it's changing again because now you're in the editing room. You know what I'm saying? So things are changing even then.
The film is constantly changing.
Yeah. So what you thought you had in your head, by the time you're done, it changes.
Yes, and then I'm going to end this myth right now, and this hoax says there is nobody. I don't care if it was Stephen King, Steven Spielberg, the greatest writers of of all time, they never wrote a masterpiece on the first time.
No, I mean, I've never heard that.
So please,
yeah,
for all my young creators out there, make mistakes. It's okay.
you're gonna make mistakes,
bro. I said the first draft, the second, and get up to 18 drafts.
Yeah,
make
yeah.
all the mistakes that you need to make.
You know, Keenan Ivory Wayans did that with Marlon and Sean for Don't Be a Menace. They gave him the rough draft. He's like, nah, it's not good enough. They wrote like 18 drafts before. He was like, okay, this is it. But you know what I'm saying? But that's also disciplining yourself, because even when you guys, you know, make it and you pitch your script to the studio, they go, okay, that's nice, but we want to change this to this and this, and we want these changes by such times. You know what I'm saying? So your script is always changing. So, you know, even when you get it casted, you know, especially you get like a big star, they go, hey man, I like the script, but I also have some ideas I want to include in the script. So your script is always changing. You know, I mean, you as the writer, director have to know when to say no. Like, hey, you know, because sometimes when people
stand by it.
Yeah, because sometimes people start changing script, and it gets to a point where the story and what you're trying to come across gets lost.
Your story.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, and then next, you know, it's done. I mean, that has happened with a lot of writers. I remember Eddie Griffin talking about that he gave a script and how
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off,
right,
but that seems like that happens more amongst us.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we'll go to a studio, take the script, and then by time it's greenlit, it's an all-female script.
Right.
Started out as PG-13,
right,
it's now rated R.
Or it's rated R,
like,
PG-13, because, you know, they think about dollars. You know, they think about, you know, happened with Dave Chappelle with Half Baked. Chappelle says the script was way better than the movie, but once they gave it to the studio, they get their own writers and want to change some stuff, and you're trying to make it, so you go, hey, do I fight for it, or do I go, hey, okay, you know what, I'll give in, because, you know, you're trying to eat, you're trying to get paid, you know what I'm saying? So
that's why I say there's a lot of gray area with us as far as
right,
like us dealing with the studios and us creating our own studios and having full creative control
right,
over our projects. Shout out to Tyler Perry, who's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, a major
full creative control over his projects.
And
nobody can tell him
Nobody
anything.
can tell. No. And I think it's just him writing the script. He doesn't have like a writing partner. Every time I see, it's written by just him. So
that's an incredible thing.
Yeah. So fight for your script, fight for your project. But just know that when you get to these studios, that they're going to make some changes. They want to make some changes, and when you're not a big name like that, it's a big fight. It's a big fight.
Because like I feel, and it's not to talk bad about these major studios, but this is just my feeling on it.
Right.
I feel like they see us, okay, he's young, he's hot, but they also see us as like, oh wow, he's from an underprivileged community, so like we'll throw him this amount of money, he'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to work. You have to stand by your morals and what you believe in. I remember reading about Stallone when he did Rocky. They're like, okay, we're going to pay this much money and get out of here. He goes, no, I want to play Rocky. Like, get the heck out of here. You crazy? Nobody knows you. And he had to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? I think what he did was he didn't take the money for the script. He goes, you know what, I think he made like a deal with them. If it's successful, he'll get it off the back end. And he took a major, chance with that, You got to fight for what you believe in. The studios are not going to see it all the time.
The studios are definitely not going to see it.
They're not going to see it because they think, it's business. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, speaking of the business, gatekeepers, is that a myth, or is there some truth to the gatekeeping?
I mean, I think
like the gatekeepers.
I mean, there's gatekeepers in anything you do. You know what I'm saying? There's big guys that control the system, and that happens, but that's not an excuse to go after your dream. That's not an excuse to create your own not create your own projects. That should give you more of a fire to push even more. At the end of the day, the way I see it, the ultimate gatekeeper is God. So if God's riding with me and I'm doing the right thing and I'm working hard, He'll open the right door for me to meet whoever I need to meet, to get in. You know what I'm saying? So because if you think about the gatekeepers and this, that, and I'm black and I don't know anybody in Hollywood, then you'll stop. You know what I'm saying? You'll never push forward. But you just gotta know who's with you, know who's for you, and that's God. You're gonna have to still put in the work. You're still gonna have to, that's not gonna change. But you know who's with you, and that's God.
And that's for anybody. Like, like, we're not gonna sit here and try to make this a thing about color, because like, you just have to work hard in this industry if you're white. Spanish,
right? Yeah, because I know I got friends that are white and they struggling just like fighting. Just like I'm fighting to get in. It just is a business that is. You think it's really big. Film community, it's actually really small. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's really small. They have they have their friends and they have the people who they like, and you just got to find your way to get in. But with all these different venues now, how to get in, with different platforms, there's more access to get in. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to keep pushing.
Way more backdoor access. The streaming service.
Right.
Every video game console has a streaming service now. PlayStation TV, Apple TV.
You got social media. You got all these different outlets to get your project out there. So if the studio says no, okay, fine. It's not the end of the world. All right, let's find another way, and then find another way. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true. Like, it almost stops you coming up with excuses.
It's no excuses.
Yeah,
it's not.
Like, there's really no excuses on why you can't come out with your content.
There's no excuses. You know what I'm saying?
There's really no excuse.
You just got to just keep. I mean, yeah, the issue that we all have is money, but then you got to work. You work your way around it.
People, this industry was made on finance, and
right.
That's why, as creators, especially black creators, I feel like we need to learn the finance side of the film industry, because I feel we could sit down and create anything, because like, we're great thinkers.
Right.
So once we get a hold of the finance side, along with that creative, we'll be the most unstoppable force in this industry.
We just gotta keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. We got some great people that's coming out with great content. You got all these different shows, Power, The Shy, all these Insecure. So you have all these different, shows that are coming out, these different voices. So you just gotta keep plugging yourself in, and it will happen. It will definitely happen.
Yes. And another word of advice: please do not take this for granted. Get out there and network. All these industry events.
Yeah. All those little networks, the little powwow stuff. You gotta do that.
Powwows, throw your little shirt and tie, get your cards made.
Get your cards. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to be the best looking cards. You know what I'm saying? Just start the process. Start networking, because
the process of talking with people.
Right, you're gonna have to network anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay in your little bubble and behind your computer and on your social,
you can't
your IG.
Not everything can be done through Instagram and Facebook. Like, people like to see people's faces in person.
Right.
Shake hands.
Shake hands. Look them in the eye. We got that. That's a new thing now. The young people, they don't look at you in your eye now. It's kind of looking everywhere, but looking at you.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's
But absolutely. So, Glenn, man, talk about your projects. Talk about Traffic Cops. Like, how did that project come about?
Okay. Traffic Cops was my thesis film when I went to Art Institute. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that would stand out. I didn't have an idea. I knew I wanted to do a comedy. I walked outside the Art Institute one day and I see a traffic cop and the bus driver arguing. I'm going, that'd be funny. Do a movie about traffic cops. Because the guy was like, you're not a real cop, you guys are traffic cops. I'm like, that would be funny. You got these traffic cops, they're not respected, by real cops, and they go through all these crazy, situations. I got my boy Giovanni Lozada, who's an AI film student as well, that graduated with me, and my boy Sharon Bay. And I told him, I said, this is the idea I had. I didn't have a script. I just had an outline of how a bunch of ideas I had, funny ideas. The school did not give me the permission to shoot my thesis yet. I was still in the process. So I gave him a fake script, and I started shooting Traffic Cops a year early before any thesis films were approved. Sooner or later, they found out about it, and I was supposed to get kind of kicked out. I said, well, can I just show you guys what I shot so far? So I showed them what I shot, and they're like, oh, this is really, really funny. Go on, we'll let you keep filming. With AI, 5 minutes. They just want 5 minutes thesis film. I went to 25. I was just like, if this is going to be the thesis film that's going to get me hired after I graduate, I'm going to go all out. So I did like 2 posters, did a music video, did a soundtrack, we did Indiegogo. And it was really well received. To this day, it still gets me work. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at it now, that was like 7 years ago. I see my little mistakes, but it's still good. No, it was still a fun process. We we played like I did my Eddie Murphy dream, play multiple characters and stuff like that. So everything I wanted to do as a kid, being a fan of Eddie Murphy and Keenan Ivory Wayans, I did that with that thesis film, and I'm really proud of it. We about to do like a sequel with that. Me and Gio and Sharon Bay. We talking about doing like a zombie spinoff, almost like Shaun of the Dead. So we have a funny first draft, and we've been working on it for like a year now. So Giovanni Lozada, who's my writing partner and also the actor in the movie, he wrote his draft, I wrote my draft, and we're just kind of merging it together and see what works and doesn't work. So we're hoping to start shooting it in the summertime, and we want to release it for Halloween, because Halloween is the anniversary of Traffic Cops. That was day one of filming Traffic Cops. Wow. So we want to get it out there. So. No.
That's a great, man. Like, and I really hope you get out there.
Yeah.
That project.
It's fun.
And that, like, if I need to make a cameo,
I'll hit you up, because I know you do horror. So I'm like, I'm gonna hit you up. Like, you want to play a zombie? Come on in.
Listen, and it would be great if I played myself, like
like
Titus Peoples, playing Titus Peoples.
So I hit you up.
Yo, most definitely.
I hit you up. We almost done with the script, so we're gonna get that thing going by next year.
Cool. So, as a creative, what was one of the worst struggle jobs that you ever had? Like, because we all have our struggle jobs.
Oh, man.
My struggle job is me being a Whole Food shopper.
Okay.
So, like, as I'm walking around with my shopping cart, shopping for other people,
right,
I'm like, I'm the world's greatest film director as I grab the Cheerios.
Right.
So, like, what is one of the craziest jobs you ever had through this film process?
I'm laughing because I already know what I'm gonna say. All right, so I'm thinking, I got my portfolio for AI. I got a well-received thesis film. I'm gonna get hired when I graduate. Somebody's gonna hire me. Nobody hired me. I got a job. Well, I got a friend of mine from AI, Jewel, who's a great filmmaker, was like, Glenn, I got you a job as a PA for a TV show called The Get Down on Netflix. So I was like, oh, great. I get there. The guy that's ahead of the PA says, nah, bro, there's no PA jobs left. I'm sorry. We have another job for you. It's dishwasher. Wow. So I get there. It's like a small little garage on a dock. It's not even on the set. I pull up the garage door, and it's just old dishes, like from here to the top of the ceiling. And I got there at 3 o'clock, and I was getting paid $5 an hour because nobody would take the job. So in my mind, I'm going, I'm gonna take the job because I'm gonna show them how bad I want to be working on set. So I'm like, I'm paying my dues. I'll do it. I did it for like 4 weeks, man. It was the worst. It was to a point like, because I was washing so many dishes that was sitting out in the sun on set. Nobody washed it. That I was getting like rashes from the food. There was a lot of seafood and everything. It was just bad. And I got to a point. And the thing was, if I didn't finish all the dishes, I didn't get paid. So I didn't get paid a lot of times because I just didn't finish it. It was just me by myself. So I'm there from 3 p.m. and I wouldn't get out until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was the worst job. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. The guy said, hey, man, I understand. Here's $50. And I left. And that was the worst. And I said, after that, I said, I'm going to make my own stuff. I'm just going to just, create my own projects, And then, And it was tough. It was tough, because I wasn't working. I had a horrible car. I had to drive all the way from Long Island to Brooklyn. I'm just driving my car, praying it won't break down because I had to, it was always breaking down. And that was like the worst. And so $5 an hour washing dishes as a dishwasher on a TV set.
Wow.
So, and I knew they wouldn't let me go because Jaden Smith was on that show, and I saw Jaden Smith in the cast, and they were all eating off paper plates because I never finished washing dishes. I'm like, I never finished washing dishes. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna let me go. And that was it. But that was the worst. Brother
Glenn, I am so sorry that you had to experience that.
But you know what? It builds character.
It builds character. Like, yo, listen, a lot of people are going to tell you no a lot. Like, you're going to go on set thinking you're going to do one thing and do something completely different.
That happens with anybody when you first start out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I'm on set, I treat the PAs with respect because I know what it is to be a PA. Or get on set and just kind of be, not valued and stuff like that. So I know, I try my best to treat everybody with respect, no matter what the position is.
Absolutely. So, Glenn, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, DIR Glenn Jr. Films. You can find me on Facebook, Glenn McBride Jr. Yeah, you could IMDb. Just type in Glenn McBride Jr. You'll find me on that. Find me on that.
Listen, you can find me on Instagram. I am Titus Peoples. I too am on IMDb.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you can find me there too. And that's it. Like, this is Glenn McBride. Like,
You got any new projects coming out?
oh man, like I got several projects coming out. Like, as you know, I'm working on this show right now.
Right.
I got 2 feature films I'm writing right now that
Okay.
I'm about to start crowdfunding for, and I got a TV show that me and my friends from high school are creating right now.
Nice.
That like we really can't even talk about because like they have some kind of structured things.
Got you.
Because we're gonna sit down and talk to the big dogs about that one.
Got you. Okay, great.
Like, I'm not pulling no stops 2020.
Doing good. Working.
Yeah, yo, like you got to, like you have to create your own content in order to work in this industry.
Yeah, so I'm doing the same thing. Just
I'm not waiting on Hollywood to give me a call.
No.
If you wait for Hollywood to give you a call, you'll be waiting a very long time.
Yeah. So you just get to do your own stuff. What am I doing? I'm acting in a feature film called Office Madness, a comedy that's starring Eugene Barnes, myself, Kyle Grant, Sean Gooden, Jennifer Yini Love, who was Brandon Brass. It's a big cast. Then I'm in a thriller called Double Vision, directed by Terry Wickham. I just finished doing acting in a horror comedy called The Order, directed by Richard Kern. I just finished acting in a 1970s mob comedy called Good Friday, just directed by Sal Vanelli.
Yeah, we gotta go with it. And just like we gotta go,
Yo,
this is episode 5 of When Discussion Strikes. Glenn A McBride, I'm Titus Peoples.
Peace.
And we are out.
Take
Thanks
care.
for watching.